Hello fellow YouTubers and welcome. Today I'm looking at the Ipiranga, the brand new Tier 8 Latin American secondary battleship that has been causing a certain amount of controversy. She's actually apparently very, very good. I've never played her. This is my very first outing in this ship. And it'll be interesting to see if she lives up to the reputation that she's got thus far from my fellow YouTubers. I'm just turning the circles on. As a matter of course, I always do this with a new ship. This is her maiden voyage. And we're following the Helena. Not my favorite map, if I'm brutally honest. The island arrangements here aren't too great. So I'm going to head north and head for the islands that are around the A cap. The idea is to be able to sneak up close and use the secondaries. I've only got a 10-point captain, unfortunately. I was fortunate enough to get the legendary commander, and this is his trick. I mean, when you've fired enough shells, this lights and you get secondary battery firing range. This is a ship trick, actually, not a commander trick. The F key. So when you get a certain amount of hits down, that fills, you press F, and your secondaries gain an additional 20% range, reload a little quicker, and your ship actually sails a little faster. Not by much, I think it's about 5%. Anyhow, you get the idea. She's got 6 turrets. 3 on the back, 2 on the front, and 1 in the middle. And she looks, to all intents and purposes, like a stretched World War I dreadnought. Unusual artillery arrangement, to say the least. The guns are particularly high caliber. I believe they are 3.56s. More on that at the end of the video. I'll take you to port, and we'll have a good close look at the armor profile and the stats, and just a general ponder of everything in general with the ship. She does turn very well. She's got crazy rudder shift. She accelerates as quickly as the Vermont. I'm told she can accelerate a Bourgogne, which is insane in its own right. So she's quick, so gets up to full speed. I've heard that the HE is better than the AP. But well, I'll be the judge of that. We'll try both. See where it gets us. I'm currently lit. I suspect there's a torpedo boat in the area, probably. What have we got to worry about? A Cagaro. And a Sashio. Oh god. An Orage. Okay, so there's some pretty scary ships. Look at the dispersion on those shells. Yeah. Get your free car wash here. Yeah, we definitely gave that ship a good soaking and not much else. Okay, fine. Right, there's a Miyoko, so I've switched to the AP. I can see I'm being targeted by one ship. Now 2 ships. I believe someone's trying to torpedo me. Uh-huh. Look what's up in front of me, right there. It's a Kagaro. I actually get to use the secondaries. This is a target-rich environment, people. It looks like the enemy fleet, Team Red, have decided to camp this corner as well. So there's going to be a lot of ships here. Not what I was hoping for at all, but then it's kind of the fault of the maps because, let's face it, most of the action is to be had at the top of the map. This is where it's all going down, as it were. You can see I've almost filled my F key for my secondaries for the extra range. There's a Seattle, an Ipiranga, a Miyoko. I've got a Kagero up front. I'm very much leading the charge at the moment. Switch to the AP. We're going to try that on this Seattle. He's slowing down. He's speeding up. I'm not sure. He seems to be varying his speed just to make things interesting. Okay, I took some pretty big hits there. Got some overpens on the Seattle, and I'm down to half health. So there's something bigger over here. Ah, yes, look at that. Verdigris. The Verdigris. So their tier 9 is here, which tells me exactly what to do next. Let's turn around using the Kagaro's smoke. Thank you for that, by the way. Much appreciated. And let's head on back. I'm going to stay here for a little while, see if I can get some juicy targets. I'm presenting quite a lot of angles, so hopefully I won't get damaged too badly. Yeah, one overpen, one ricochet. Dispersion's all over the place. Kind of to be expected, I guess. Verdigris just took a chunk out of our Borodino. And our Borodino's being topped by the Kagaro. That's one thing about this ship. She's not the easiest ship to torpedo because she's got incredible rudder shift. And with my 10-point captain, I took priority target so that I could figure out exactly when a torpedo boat is launching its torps at me, and then take the appropriate avoiding action. Look at that turning circle, my goodness. It's tight, isn't it? Tight. Very good rudder shift as well. Okay. Now you can see they've got a gaggle of ships just northeast of my position. Destroyer, 1, 2, 3, 4 battleships, is that? No, 2 cruisers, 3 battleships, my goodness. So about roughly half their team are here. And our Nagato is fearlessly pushing into that lot. Ah, it was nice knowing you, mate. You saw what happened to the Borodino, right? Yeah? Maybe not. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he missed that. Still, he's taken out their Miyoko. I'll give him that. Even if I half-health the guy. Okay. Reduces. Okay, Seattle takes out their Nagato. Not too surprised at that. Any ship that pushes into that group of enemy ships is just going to get themselves sunk. And I think the Heinrichs realised that and is now starting to turn away. Okay, let's try the AP. Try not to hit the Helena. Yeah, he's going quite slow. Try that. I'm going to swap back to the HE and move away. Meanwhile, our Heinrich's being focused. 6 pens. Huh. Okay. 12 shells fired, 1 ricochet and 6 pens. That's okay, actually. That's pretty alright. So, there are moments where these guns do come to you and cause some damage and mayhem. Okay. I'm just out of range of the Seattle, I do believe. Okay, we've filled our F key, so we can extend the range of our secondaries as and when it's applicable. But of course, because I have a 10-point build, my secondary range is only 9.6 at the moment. I haven't taken the extra 20% yet from the captain's skill, which would take these guns out to around 11 kilometers. And then with the F key pressed, I believe it's something like 13.8, which is very, very good for a tier 8 secondary ship. Class leading, in fact. Okay. Cleveland burned down Aramono. Heinrich is backing off. And I'm looking for new prey. I'm thinking the Seattle and the Buffalo if I get lucky. Uh-oh, there goes the Heinrich and the Cleveland. Yeah, they've very much dominated that corner of the map in the north. I'm not too surprised at that. They had a tier 9 up there with some tier 8, tier 7. Quite a scary prospect for anyone. And of course now they have a bit of a lead. Okay, I'm lit, so I'm hoping I'm coming up on a cruiser. I'm targeted. That's probably the Massachusetts firing at me, actually. So we're just going to turn our rudder and ignore him. Yeah, here they come. Yeah, we just turn the rudder and ignore him. I love it. Yeah, the angle is pretty tight. I don't think the Massachusetts is going to do as much damage if he stays on AP. Which is good, right? Okay. Got targeted by 2 and then back to 1 again. The Asashio has been dealt with. The Kagura's over there. So... don't think that was torpedoes. Got what, a Nagato, a King George, and a Seattle. Oh, we have a Jaeger and a Kaguro in the area. Their Massachusetts just took out our Lightning. That's unfortunate. And we're now down to 5 ships. Uh-oh. Shells on the King George look good. Yeah, 8,134 damage and 6, 7, 8, 9. We hit with 9 of them, which is pretty damn fine at 16.7 kilometers, 16.8. Okay, let's see if we can finish him off. Of course, I'm not running fire prevention. No fire prevention here. But I wanted you guys to see what it's like sailing this ship with a 10-point captain. Yay! There goes the Ipiranga. I've rather accidentally pressed my FP, which is unfortunate, but you can see what's happened. If you look on the mini-map, I've gone from 9.5 to 11.5 on the secondary battery range, which is something, right? I guess. But I pressed it too early. It would have been better to have waited. Oh. As it turns out, it really doesn't matter. I was going to say I pressed it too early for the Baltimore. I was going to wait. I should have waited till he was in the window. At least I now know what that window is, right? 9.6 goes out to 11.5. So I'll factor that into my equations for the next one. But I just citadeled a buffalo down, okay? Now, you probably saw my buffalo video last weekend. Another citadel, by God. And if you didn't, why not, right? Everyone likes to see me suffer, and I suffer a lot in the buffalo, honestly. And you'll know exactly how I managed to citadel that guy. She does have quite a soft, weak armor profile. But I was surprised to get a citadel, I must admit. Okay, now we're going to try and take the Seattle down. Okay, volley fire produced 3 overpens. Great. And Team Red have all the caps, so we need to get a cap. I'm not sure what our Siegfried is doing, running for his life, I guess. What a team. And they have 5 enemy ships left to our 3. Jaeger's moving to torpedo the Massachusetts, but he's been lit by the Kagura. Okay, who's smoked up instantly? And Jaeger got the Kagado with a torpedo. Good work. I love it. Meanwhile, I'm chasing down this Seattle. Come on, man. Okay. Okay, we've tanked just over, what, 1,434,300 so far with this armor profile in a tier 9 match. Tier 7, 8, 9 match. You know what? That's not bad. 1.5 million. That's not bad. I still reckon I could tank more. Got a feeling this ship might be worth... It might be worth bothering. Oh! 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 Okay, random citadel out of nowhere. That's what these guns are like. You just throw a lot of AP at something and occasionally the odd shell citadels and they get sunk, right? There's no rhyme or reason to it. There's no the dispersion is goddamn awful, right? But throw enough shit at a wall, some of it sticks, right? Or a door or whatever. I guess you throw enough AP at something, eventually you're gonna get a citadel. Wow. Okay, fine. I'm happy. So the 2 cruisers I intended to kill, I killed. The Buffalo and the Seattle, albeit it took a longer than I anticipated. Their Ipiranga just took out our Siegfried. Unfortunate. We should be able to finish off the Massachusetts though, right? 17-kilometer shot with AP. Those look good. 2 penetrations and somehow he's still afloat. Okay, so I'm guessing he's largely saturated and those went into the superstructure. So a bit unfortunate there. Get him on the next one, right? Trying to avoid getting shot at by the photographs. Okay, let's try that. And let's turn into the island. This look pretty good. Yep. Okay. Alright. Throw enough shit at that wall, right? Okay. So we now have an Ipiranga and a Photogross to deal with. And a Photogross is unfortunately very healthy. He's been playing it cool. Okay, gonna fire on the Ipiranga. There can be only one. Okay, 2 pens, 1 over pen, 3 ricochets, and 1 torpedo protection hit. Yeah, not terrible. I can tell you the main guns, fire them enough and you will get results. That's all I'm gonna say. And the HE is better than the AP. Okay, and, oh, a citadel and he sank. You see what I did there? I fired the secondaries expecting to go into secondary range and extend my range so I could start secondarying his ass. And what happens? I get a citadel and sink in. Oh man, honestly, you can't make this shit up. I don't really know what to do now. I'm ambivalent. If I was streaming, I guess you guys would tell me exactly what to do. I could just ask, like Tren and Flammo and all the others. I'd say, or Flambas. I'd say, hey guys, what next? And you'd all say, fire on the Photogross, probably, right? I'm thinking maybe a cap first, because at 2 minutes they win, and there's only a minute left in the game. But I don't know. I'm ambivalent. Anyway, we're going to sit on this cap and see what happens. The Photogross is chasing me down anyway. He knows exactly where I am, so we will inevitably end up fighting him. But there's only 50 seconds left. Still, I got a Kraken right on my first go with a 10-point captain, so I guess there's something to the theory that this ship is a little overpowered, right? Right? She a bit overpowered, guys? I think she's a bit overpowered. Ow. Yeah. I think she's a bit overpowered. I think it's safe to say this ship is a little overpowered. Will I play her again? Oh yeah. Do I now want to get my captain up to 21 points fast? You guessed it. Yeah, I do. Yeah. This ship is a lot of fun. It's also pretty strong and not difficult to play at all. But I was surprised at that Citadel. Okay, doesn't look like we're going to win this one. Our Jaeger wasn't really in the match. He should have either gone to B or A and capped those for me. Maybe capped A. That would have helped a lot. Too much pressure. I don't respond well to that level of pressure. I just say meh. Meh. So we got a Dreadnought, a Kraken. We get almost 500,000 credits for 424,000 credits. 94 hits with the main guns. 5 sinkings, which I like. 4 Citadels, I also like. Top of the team, not too surprised there. 1,574 XP. Wow, for a loss. You can get that on an average win, can't you, right? So, yeah, I guess this ship is somewhat overpowered. Yeah, sorry, Baltimore. Sorry about that. So, 42,000 on the Seattle. 35,000 on the Ipiranga. That was all AP. 13,000 on the King George. Again, all AP. Massachusetts. Some of that was HE. Okay. See how we did on the credits and XP. Plus 20% on there. 334,000. 2,000 ship XP. Okay. Right, you know what? Let's take it for an operation. I want to see how this ship holds up in an operation so you can see what the secondaries can really do. So, let's do that next. Okay, my first operation in the Ipiranga, and it's a classic. It's the Ultimate Frontier. Haven't I covered this before? Oh yeah, in the Ohio and the Napoli. Okay, well this time we're in the Ipiranga. You notice how popular she is because there's another 2 Ipirangas with us, and of course in this game mode secondary battleships are very popular. I can't imagine why, right? I can't imagine why. And we have a Verdegrossa with us, bumping up the tier slightly. A St. Louis, a Mogami, and a Catalunya. Yeah. Okay. Right, well, what I think I'm probably going to do is go to the repair center in the middle. That's sat at D6. And see what targets present themselves along the G line, because usually a load of battleships track along there in a cruiser. There's the kid. The obligatory kid at H8. And I see the Verdegrossa is with the Southern Fleet, which suits me just fine. We got 3 Ipirangas and a Ibuki up here. The Cataluna's taken out the kit. That's great. There's also a gearing to think about, and there's the Iowa. Okay, sailing practically broadside. So let's try the AP on him. Groupings actually don't look too terrible. Couple of pens. Couple of overpens, 6k damage. And then 2 overpens. So total salvo damage almost 8k. That's not bad. That's not bad considering how terrible these guns are. That's pretty okay. Okay, another 6.5k. Oh, almost 9 on that barrage. Pretty good, pretty good. Okay, there's a Des Moines. There's a Des Moines, a tier 10 Des Moines in a tier 9. Well, and I'm in a tier 8. I'm beginning to wonder if the matchmaker will be cruel enough to throw a starship at us later. We'll see. We'll see. Oh! Oh! Champion! There goes half his health and 2 citadels and an incapacitation. Okay. Alright. He's slowing down, isn't he? Yeah. Don't expect much from those, but 9,800 citadel. Wow. Okay. Not bad for 356. Not bad at all. Oh no, he's stopped. He's practically stopped now. Okay. I have no fire prevention on this ship whatsoever, unfortunately. That could be a problem. Okay, see if we can ruin the Des Moines' day. Oh, those missed. Yeah, the dispersion on those was pretty terrible, and we get 5 overpens. And he just hit the Iowa. Is he going backwards? I'm just going to slow down. Yeah, my team's getting their knickers in a twist about a Seattle, and there's a Worcester, but I think our Ipirangas can get the Seattle. I'm much more interested in the fact there's a Mayhan at 2.7 kilometers. I mean, what the actual... Okay, we're going to hit the funny button. Okay, we got a Citadel on the Des Moines and sunk her. That's great, isn't it? That's good. Okay. I noticed, though, that the 3 battleships will go down the G line. Usually by now, at least one of them's been sunk, and they're still looking very healthy. So our Southern Fleet isn't doing much about that situation. Our Megami's almost dead. In fact, they're in a bit of a disarray, I would say. A bit of disarray, sir. Get some secondary hits on the Mayhan. With the 152s. Huh. Okay, and I'm on fire again, of course. It's almost like the RNG knows I don't have fire prevention. It just knows. Okay. Gonna slap a plaster on it for now. Yes, that was pretty exciting. Yeah, so we took the destroyer down. Now we've got the Iowa to worry about. Scratch 1 Mayhan, scratch 1 Des Moines. And are they going to leave me all 3 battleships to deal with? It's kind of looking that way. But you got the Worcester, right? And you got the Seattle, right? Good job, team. Yeah. There's just this small matter of 3 battleships. The Iowa, the North Carolina, and the Colorado. I think the Vertigrosser is moving up to support, actually. And my 2 battleship compadres at the back there, off the north, up the 7 line, are going to be supporting me here. No doubt with their secondaries. You can see the air is absolutely full of secondary fire right now. No, apparently not. So they're probably running 10-point captains as well, which means their secondaries, like mine, are only 9.6 kilometer range. Okay. Right, let's see if we can wreck the Iowa's day. I don't really like being this up close and this personal to an Iowa, but at least he's not looking at me, so that's good. Might as well use the secondary buff. There they go. Now the that was a starboard rail, port rail secondaries. Yeah, there they go. There they go. Waiting for the rest of its team to arrive. Okay, that's the North Carolina dealt with by the Megami. We're still afloat. Okay, let's see if we can take down the Cleveland. Okay, let's see if we can get some shells down on the Helena. And I'm literally sat in the repair dock at the moment, waiting for the rest of the team to arrive. Wow, that dispersion was all over the place, but we got 15k damage down with 5 pens and 2 overpens on the Helena, which is kind of to be expected. She's made of paper and we're using 356s. Okay, Cleveland. Can the secondaries take them down? Yeah, the Ibuki got her. Okay, fine. Right, so we've got to save at least 3 of the 4 forts. And the transport aircraft have arrived. Okay. One of our Ipiranga is taking a risk and sailing straight due west up the sea line, going into D now. Wow, he's just going straight up there. Now there are a group of ships that spawn up there, including an aircraft carrier, but it's quite a big fleet and he's on his own. Alright, I'm going to keep half an eye on the Midway. If we get an opportunity to, we will sink her because she's part of our mission objectives. She's called Aircraft Carrier Raptor, but make no mistake, that Midway is the Raptor that we need for the objective. Right, just moving out of the repair yard. I'm just going to get lined up for the next group of ships. We've got some destroyers that will be attacking this position next. And another cruiser fleet, usually accompanied by a battleship. And pure cruisers as well from the east. But it doesn't always pan out like that. They've probably got something special in mind for us since our top tier is 9. Can't wait to find out what that's going to be. Okay, Buffalo moving slowly. 14 clicks. Speed it up. He speeded up. Still, we still got a pen and an overpen, so I'll take that.
Attention. We intercepted enemy communications. Enemy destroyers have been sent to disrupt our repair base. Not allow them to capture.
Here come the destroyers right behind me. So it's time to put those secondaries to use. Oh boy. I can smell burning. Okay, it's an Annapolis and a Montana also bearing down on our position. The Midway's out of sight. I've got 2 fires on me. I'm kind of trying to avoid the heel. But bang the repair, and I won't be at all surprised if I don't get lit again by fires. Okay. Okay, Fletcher's down. Okay, we've lost the St. Louis, that's unfortunate. Okay, Fletcher's looking... Yep, he's out of there, okay. I lost the turret and I'm burning. Again. Okay. Get the kid, yep. Okay, I'm gonna pop a heal. 3 fires. Oh, we are having barbecue tonight. 3 fires. Oh dear. Uh-oh. Can they make it 4? Yeah. 10-point captain for the win, right? Still, 150k damage, 2 sinkings. 82 secondary hits. Not a terrible round, actually. Not a terrible round, considering she's only tier 8, and we are up against some tier 9 and 10 bots. So, and Annapolis, strike alike, that's a tier 11. So, tier 9, 10, and 11 bots. Okay. Tier 8, 9, 10, and 11. Nice mix. But, of course, bloody lethal. So, we're just going to try and heal up a little bit. I'm switching to the HE. How long have we got on the mission? 5 minutes. Right, so we need to defend the aerodrome for 3.5 minutes. If we do that, we win the game. That's a main. Just popped in at E10. Just spawned in there with an two Annapolis. So there's 3 starships coming our way. You know what? I don't think it's going to be healthy to stay in this base for very much longer somehow. I'm going to pop a heal, and then I think I'm going to head west like the other Ipiranga did. Let's see if we can get the midway. Let's try that. Let's go for the midway. Okay, let's see if we can get this buffalo. Yep. Okay. The guns are very reliable at 6 kilometers, I might add. Of course, like you'd expect. Now I'm running. Why am I running? I'm running. I've decided that there's less shit in front of me than there is behind me. 3 starships. There's a Humphreys as well. Oh my goodness. Okay, fine. Okay, Megami torpedoed him, so there goes a Montana. And we're heading straight at the Sherman. Meanwhile, what I'm keeping half in mind is we need to finish off the midway. There she is. There's the midway. She's running. So let's see if we can at least get that for the team. If we can get the midway for the team, I'll be happy. There's only 2 minutes left in this match. And if we can defend for the full 2 minutes and one of us stays alive, critical that one of us stays alive, right? We win the match. So, and I think we got all the objectives if we get this guy. So let's put some AP on him, see if we get lucky. Okay, we got a Citadel, that's good. That's good. And he's down to 700 health. Haha. We almost finished him off with that salvo, actually. But we're not long for this world, so I think I'm going to be able to get one more in, maybe? Finish him off? Okay, that should do it. Okay, now we're on fire again. I honestly... Okay. Yeah, we got the Raptor, so that's brilliant. And we've tanked, what, 2.5 million damage? Oh my god, we've tanked 2.5 million damage, guys. In a tier 8 battleship. Oh my goodness. And we are almost out of here. 2 fires burning. Man the lifeboats. Abandon ship. This is not a drill. Abandon ship. Whoop, whoop, whoop. There's only 2 ships left in the fleet. There's only 1 ship left in the fleet. Okay, so Omagami, and you remember what happened to him. He almost died early on. Who's now at full health thanks to the heal dock at D6. Has now got to defend the base on his own for the next 30 odd seconds. What's the worst that can happen, right? This is insane. Okay. Fort took out the Fletcher. Go Fort. Okay, a case of beer for everyone in that fort right now. Oh my goodness, this is getting crazy. Look, there's a Maine and 2 Annapolis tracking across here casually. Look what we can do to you, say the bots. If the Megami can stay alive, they're shooting at the fort. The Annapolis is firing at the Megami. The other Annapolis is firing at the Megami. They're ignoring the forts. They want the Megami dead. But they ran out of time and we win the match. Yay! I did not think this was going to be a win, if I'm honest. A little part of me died inside when I saw it was just the Megami against that lot. But we did, and he did well. Didn't he do well? 199,000 damage done there. 115 secondary hits. 4 sinkings. Yeah, well done, Megami. What can I say? You, sir, are some kind of ghost. Love you. Brilliant. Okay, 44k on the Des Moines, 22k on the Midway, 13k on the Mayhem, 9k on the Buffalo, 44k on the Iowa, 14k on the Helena. I think it's safe to say I pretty much hit everything I fired at, and then some. 130,000 main damage, 122,000 AP, 52,838 with the secondaries, and 16,000 of that was fires. So yes, the secondaries, even at this stage, are doing quite well for themselves. My name's Lone Gun, and this has been the Ipiranga. If you would like to see the build I was running there and what I suggest for a full 21-point captain build, please stay tuned. This will follow shortly. Thank you. Okay, so here we have the Ipiranga, and my captain is Joaquim Marquez Lisboa. Okay, or Marquez Lisboa. I think I got that right. I don't know. Maybe not. I can't say that my Pan-American is that great. I don't like the skin very much, I have to say, but I got it, so I might as well use it, right? Let's have a look at the armor layout. I can see straight away that that's quite a strong armor profile. Okay, there's a fair amount of superstructure here, but no more than any German secondary battleship. Maybe a little less. I'm not sure. Anyway, 19 millimeters of armor there. Look at the nose, it's 32 mil. Nice. Rear, similar story, 32 mil. Okay, so if we take the nose off, that's tier 8. We've got 32 mil casemate armor plate on top, which goes into a 51 millimeter deck armor. Strong. And 51 millimeter sloped armor belt. Nice. And then beneath that, more casemate armor of 152 millimeters and 356 on the side. Again, sloped. So quite a bit of armor protection there for the Citadel, which sits just above the waterline, but only just. And if we take the side plates off, we can see that it has a very nice slope on it, which gives you even more value. And shells is going to ricochet off that quite a bit. So pretty well protected Citadel, I would say. Very well protected indeed. The sloped plates giving you more protection than it actually says. 356 mil there, 305 there, and the rest goes down deep below the waterline. Okay. Pretty solid. What's the back look like? Let's take that off again. Okay, 152 mil on the back, which angled should be significantly enough. And again, yeah, possible plunging shell issue there. If someone gets lucky, hits about here and plunges down, they might be able to skip this. But it's going to be unusual, and it's not going to happen very often, if at all. Okay, so strong armor layout, very strong. Let's have a look at the artillery. So we have a main battery of 356, as I probably mentioned in my matches. The range is 18.7 kilometers. The turret turn time isn't terrible either. That's 30 seconds to rotate 180 degrees. The reload time is 33 seconds. That's a little on the slow side, but understandable, really. Shell switching is 19.8 seconds. Okay, and the chances of causing fire on the HE are 31%. Which, to be honest, isn't terrible because you do get 12 of them, but the dispersion isn't great, so you're not going to hit with very many. The HE is stronger than the AP, but the AP does do 9,800, as we saw in some of those citadels during the previous 2 matches. Okay, now what are the secondaries like? We've got 6 127mm guns dotted around the sides, with a range of 9.6 kilometers and a fire chance of 5%. Then we have the bread and butter secondaries, which have 9% fire chance. Okay, that's quite telling. A reload time of 7.6 seconds. What was reload on those? 4.8. Oh, that's pretty good. 9.6 kilometer range and 38 millimeters of armor pen, as opposed to 21 millimeters on the 127s. But 21 is enough to scare off most destroyers. 38 is going to upset a lot of people. You're going to be punching through the upper deck armors of quite a few tier 8 battleships with these. Pretty nasty. Main battery firing range 18.7. Yeah, we covered that. Okay, now I've heard that she's a bit of a ghost. Yeah, 12.3 kilometers with this build detectability, which is excellent for a secondary battleship. Should allow us to sneak fairly close to our enemy before letting them have it with the secondaries. Maneuverability. Max speed is 30.5 knots with the speed flag. Turning circle of 820 meters. That's not bad at all. And a rudder shift of 12.1 seconds. Kind of to be expected, but she does have inbuilt acceleration. So if we have a look at the equipment, she accelerates very well, so there's no real need to use anything other than damage control system modification 2 in this slot here to bring down the fire extinguishing time and flood recovery time, because I didn't notice I was burning rubber a lot. Okay, in slot 1 I've gone with auxiliary armaments modification 1 to protect the secondaries, slot 2 to reduce the fire risk and flood risk, damage control system modification 1, and slot 3 to increase the range of the secondary, so we get that lovely 9.6 kilometer range. I've gone with secondary battery modification 1, and then finally I went with concealment system modification 1, which brings our concealment down to 12.3 kilometers, which is very, very welcome. Now, what does the F key do? Okay, it increases your battery firing range by 20%. It reduces the reload time by 15%. That's quite good, isn't it? And the damage goes up 25% on the secondary batteries. Wow. Okay. That is pretty strong. Okay, now let's have a look at the captain build. Oh, wait a second. Let's have a look at ASW first. 10 kilometer range. I didn't get to use it. There weren't any subs about, but 10 kilometer range is pretty good for tier 8 battleship. So the SW is reasonable. Now bear in mind she has no hydro. Unlike the German secondary battleships, she has no hydro, and none of the ships in this line have hydro. So how do we get around that? Well, she turns very well. She accelerates very well. So dodging torpedoes is an option. However, if you want to go a little bit further, I took priority target, which is an indicator of your ship of how many people are targeting you. If that indicator drops and then goes up again, somebody just launched torpedoes at you. Okay, so that gives you an indication that torpedoes are on their way, and you may take avoiding action appropriately before they arrive by changing course and heading. And that should give you some protection, bearing in mind that you don't have hydro. So what did I do with my first pick? I went with gun feeder because I wanted to switch quickly between the very good HE and the adequate AP, so that I could get citadels and set fires fairly quickly. So I took gun feeder. I then took priority target to keep us alive, because this is only a 10-point captain. If I had the full 21-point captain, I might consider the idea of brisk. to increase her acceleration. And I noticed this captain gets a buff on Brisk of 12.5% to the speed of a ship, which is very good indeed. So Brisk is a good option for while you're concealed to close a distance quickly. Then third, I would go with Adrenaline Rush. Fourth, Concealment Expert. And then after that, I think I'm probably going to take Fire Prevention. I wonder where you think that, right? But first, actually, I think I'm going to go with the long-range secondary battery shells, so I get those the secondaries out to 11.5% range, 11.5 kilometer range, around 11.5 kilometers anyway, thereabouts, which will allow us, when we use our 20% boost, to push them further out to around 13.5, almost 14 kilometers, which is pretty good for a tier 8 secondary battleship, right? Okay, so let's see. That would be 13 points. Then we would take manual secondary battery aiming to improve the accuracy and reload time, etc. of the secondary batteries. So that takes us to 17. We're left with 4 points, and then I would probably take Fire Prevention Expert. Or I might take Fire Prevention Expert first and finish with manual secondary battery aiming, because I believe this ship is going to find itself under HE spam quite a lot at the closer ranges, and it's something I'm going to expect. If you like living in the fast lane and you don't want to take that, you could take these 4 points from here and maybe take Improved Repair Party. Risky, I know. Are you going to tank over 2 million potential every match? I'm really not sure. I've taken her out for a couple of matches and we were getting close to the 2 million potential damage mark on one, and we definitely flew over it on the second, but the second was a bot match, so bear that in mind. I think you're probably safer with Fire Prevention Expert, to be brutally honest. Okay, those are my recommendations. I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I did making it, and if you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you all very much for watching.